You've got to break some glass to make some neon. One letter at a time, Dan works the tube into a recognizable shape, then fuses the pieces together to form a word.
We always make them backwards so we can put all the bends behind it and hide them. So when you pick it up, the front will be nice and flat.
Looks pretty easy, doesn't it? Well, it isn't.
It took a good year or 2 years of practicing every day bending glass before I could make anything that I could possibly sell.
Add to that the oppressive heat from the flames and the ever-present danger of electric shock. This job has a lot of drawbacks, but it also has its rewards.
Seeing other people enjoy what I've made. When somebody comes in and goes, "Oh, I really love that sign, you know, and I'm really happy with it," I get the most enjoyment out of that.
Meanwhile, today's piece is now cooled and ready for the pumping station, where the air inside the glass tubing is heated to a blazing blue-white, then sucked out.
There's a lot of impurities just in the air we breathe. You want to get all of that out. So when you put the neon in, it's just pure neon. These gauges tell me exactly how much neon I'm putting in, and then we light it and check it to make sure it's the right color. And that's it.
That's easy for you to say, Dan, but how does it work? Well, electrodes on the ends of the tubes emit tiny particles of electricity.
And they collide with the atoms of gas that are inside the tube, which creates movement. And the movement is what you actually see, what makes the neon light.
So, to recap, you start with glass tubing, shape the letters one by one, stick them all together, then superheat and vacuum out all the impurities. Open up the valves and fill the tube with neon gas. Then you take the finished product, add a little electricity, and voila! That looks kind of familiar. In Southwest Houston, Ned Hibbert, Fox News.
You'll see neon with a little more respect after you see all the skill that goes into each piece of work.
Well, the urban landscape here in Houston is dotted with all kinds of neon signs.
But perhaps the most colorful are those neons. And Ned Hibbert reports on the glowing tubes of light that are still made the old-fashioned way.
Lighten up Houston, lighten up people's lives.
That's the order of business at Dan Dobleman's Neon Shop in Southwest Houston. For some people, neon signs are a symbol of technology, but it takes some old-world craftsmanship to make these tubes of glass that glow in the night.
If you like getting burned and cut and shocked every day, you're perfect for a neon bender.
Every curve, every loop is fashioned by hand over a 1,600-degree flame.
This is a skip bend, and you do that so you don't bend yourself into a corner. I skip the middle bend and then come back and finish it up last. This will be the bottom of an O.
Once the glass tube hardens, if the bend is wrong, it can't be redone. That's where Dan's 10 years of experience come in handy.
I mark the glass itself so I know exactly where to heat it. Okay, and I just let this cool off for a minute on the cooling stand.
Despite the oppressive heat in the shop and the many other occupational hazards, Dan loves his job.
If you can find something that you really enjoy doing and make money off of it, I think you're very lucky if you can do that.
And there is some money to be made, especially on some of the more unusual projects. One memorial area man hired Dan to change his light bulbs into neon.
It recessed neon lighting, all different colors, and we put over 1,000 feet of neon in this guy's house. So it really looked great when it was done.
Most customers' wishes are a little more down to earth.
If they come in and say, "I want a neon rainbow," you know, we'll start drawing up a rainbow, and we pretty much give them, you know, as close to what they want or what they imagine in their head as possible.
A lot of people want their name in lights, like Becky, but she never showed up to pick it up. So if your name's Becky, I'm sure he'd let this go at a very reasonable price. Back at the workbench, Dan is breaking off the excess glass on each letter and putting words together.
Once we complete the glass bending part, we bring it over to the pumping station, and we're ready to put the gas in it.
First, the air in the tube is heated white hot, and a vacuum sucks out all the impurities. Then, pure neon is pumped in.
The neon is an invisible gas, but when it's bombarded with the electrons, it moves at a very high rate of speed, and that's what we see.
That look good to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Signs may be his bread and butter, but for Dan, it's colorful artwork like this that's the icing on the cake.
I try to make at least 1 or 2 artworks every day. You get a little more satisfaction out of making artwork, so people enjoy it more.
And so does Dan Dobleman, bending light for fun and profit. In Southwest Houston, Ned Hibbard, Fox News.